Greetings, everyone. It is I, Sutargos, the Kaiju from Krypton, and I'm here to do another reaction video. Yesterday, today, is revealed we got a second trailer, at least I believe it's a second trailer, for Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2. Now, as you can tell just by my t-shirt, and if you ever check out my Facebook page, Sutargos, the Kaiju from Krypton, I am a big fan of DC Comics. I absolutely love DC, and as everyone knows, big fan of Superman, but also big fan of Green Lantern, big fan of Flash, and I'm sort of becoming a big fan of Batman, who's on my tummy. But yeah, I'm excited to watch this trailer, but I'm also going to discuss the Tomorrowverse too before I play the trailer itself. So for those who don't know, the Tomorrowverse is the name given for the second of the DC Shared Universe animated movies. The first one was the DCAMU, I think, the DC Animated Movie Universe? Yeah. And that went from Flashpoint, and also, Justice League War, to Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Then we got the Tomorrowverse, which started off with Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and we're up to now Justice League Part 2, or Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2. As for my thoughts on the Tomorrowverse itself, I've seen a handful of films. I haven't seen all of them. I've seen Superman, Man of Tomorrow. I liked it a lot. I saw the Justice Society movie, which I thought was decent. It was entertaining. I don't know if it's something I would go back to. I haven't watched any of the Batman Hush movies yet. I imagine there's other films too in the franchise. I'm just going off what's the top of my head. I did watch Green Lantern Beware My Power, which was rather disappointing. It wasn't bad, it was just mediocre, and didn't like what they did to my boy Hal here over here. But I am a fan of Jon Stewart, though. Plus, it also did other stuff, too, that I didn't like. I don't want to spoil the movie, but, certain characters shouldn't have been killed off, but whatever. And I imagine there's been, other films, too. Not a lot of Batman films, from what I can recall. But, yeah, Long Halloween, as I mentioned, been meaning to watch that, because I love the Long Halloween comic book, and I'm told the movies are a good adaptation. Albeit, some things were updated and whatnot. I did watch, in fact, you know what? Before I go and play the trailer, I'm going to look up right now what films they have in the Tomorrowverse. Like I said, there's only a handful I've seen. Let's see. DC Universe. Verse. Tomorrow. Verse. Okay, here we go. The Tomorrowverse. Let's see. We've got Justice Society, Long Halloween, Green Lantern. Okay, Legion of Superheroes. I remember trying to watch that one. I only got until 30 minutes and I just stopped. It wasn't necessarily bad or anything like that. It's just I lost interest in that, and at the time it was rented from my library and it wasn't on Max at the time. It's getting overdue, and I don't like paying late fees. But Justice League War World, that I did watch. And I liked it. I like anthology films, and I liked what I saw. Though I kind of understand why people don't like it as much. Because some people call it a nothing burger, I believe. Basically filler entertainment, or what's coming at hand stuff. But I liked it. I mean, I'm a fan of anthology films. It's just the only thing I didn't like, from what I recalled, is for one, it's it's just a lead into Crisis, but even then, watching Crisis on Infinite Earths, the film doesn't have really any impact on it, so it's you really don't need to watch it in order to watch Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is weird, right? It's like I said, filler. Filler that has no consequences, I should say. But the thing I didn't like, I didn't like how they did Jonah Hex. I hated what they did to Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex is not a villain. I don't know why they depicted him as a villain. Did not like that at all. I like what they did with Superman though, with his segment of the anthology part, and I really like the Batman one too. The Batman one was cool, but that's because I'm a big sword and sorcery fan, big Conan the Barbarian fan, as well as other works of Robert E. Howard. But the Tomorrowverse, it's just or meh to me. Now it could be like the same. It could be the fact like I like the the DC animated movie universe that came before it. It could be that, but also it took me a while to like that series too because watch Justice League War. Well, first off, I watched Justice League Flashpoint, Justice League the Flashpoint Paradox. I liked that movie. I did not like the art style at times; it looked ugly. But Justice League War, did not really care for it. It was okay. I didn't like some of the depictions of the superheroes. Like Superman kind of came off as a jerk. I felt like it wasn't that good of an adaptation of the story that was written by Jeff Johns. I liked the story a lot. And the addition of Shazam to replace Aquaman was weird too. Also, oh yeah, the other thing. Hal Jordan, I know he's supposed to be cocky and everything, but like, he was just too much in that film. Absolutely too much. But yeah, at first I didn't like it. I watched Batman's Son of Batman. Sorry, again, did not really care for it. And then I watched Justice League Throne of Atlantis. Again, didn't really care for it. I mean, I liked it a little bit more than the others, but still didn't really care for it. And then I just basically wrote off the whole shared universe for a while. Up until I watched The Death of Superman. After watching The Death of Superman, I was like, okay, I like this. And I watched The Reign of the Superman. I really like that. And then came out, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to marathon them all. And I pretty much did. I skipped a few, though. But the ones I skipped, Son of Batman, because I didn't really feel like revisiting that. The other Batman animated films I skipped as well, because I haven't seen those. And I want to read the actual comics they're based off before watching the movie. And then Teen Titans Judas Contract. Didn't watch that either because I want to read the comic. But every other film I did watch, including the Constantine film, City Demons, which I really, really like. Oh, that movie was awesome. And while marathoning all those movies, I just gradually loved that universe. And when it ended, everything, I was sad, but I was like, there is a reason why it ended. And this new universe I was really looking forward to. And, Superman Man of Tomorrow was a strong start. But just, I don't know, like the Tomorrowverse just isn't clicking with me. And it seems like I'm not the only one either, But I will say this, though. When I watched Crisis on Infinite Earths last month, I think it came out. This month or last month? I want to say last month, January. I was a fan. I was definitely a fan. It's a Flash movie, first and foremost. It's a Flash movie with Justice League in there, but still a Crisis movie at the same time. It's just the perspective is on the Flash. And when I watched the Constantine, what's it called? Constantine and the House of Secrets, or House of Mystery. I think it's House of Secrets. That was like the epilogue to the DC animated movie universe. And after watching that, how it ended, I'm like, are they doing what I think they're doing? And then the rumors came out that they might be doing a Crisis movie. And sure enough, we have that. And spoiler for the first part of Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths, Constantine was there. He was uncredited, but you could totally hear that was Matt Ryan's voice, and he was doing Constantine type stuff. And when I saw that, I'm like, this is perfect. Flashpoint somehow caused Crisis on Infinite Earths. And I love Crisis. Also, the other big thing I should say, I love Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's arguably my favorite comic book event. Comic book event. Also, it's been one I haven't read in a very long time, and I've forgotten most of it. In fact, when I got done watching the first part of Crisis on Infinite Earths, plus, listening to my boy Sound Out Productions, or Sound Out 12, love you, dude. his video on comic books, he mentioned how Crisis was his favorite comic book event too. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna read this, and I've been reading on and off. I want to say I'm on issue 3 or 4 now, and I'm genuinely enjoying it. And it helps that, revisiting it now with more comic book cred and knowledge that have now, as opposed to when I read it as a teenager back in 2008, 2009. I'm picking up on more things, and because of that, I'm enjoying it more. That, and I'm enjoying the late George Perez's art even more so. And one thing I'm really happy for is they're doing reprints, facsimiles, basically reproductions of the original single issues this year for the 40th anniversary of Crisis on Infinite Earths. And I'm excited for that because, I love it when companies do that, DC's been doing it a lot lately. Marvel's been doing it too. And when I say reprints or facsimiles, however you pronounce it, and I apologize, I'm butchering that word. They're it's not like, like when the reprints you would get like in a graphic novel, or like, when Marvel Legends or DC did it, or a DC Universe Classics did it. No, it's just like the actual reproductions of the original comics, ads and all. And also I imagine like the letters page and everything too. And I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited because it has some of my favorite comic book covers of there too. Because like at the half price at my old place, near my old place, they're actually selling those single issues too. It's like $80, and I'm like, ooh, I'm tempted to get that, but it's expensive at the same time, like the original issues and stuff. So flip-flopping on that. But I'm about 12 minutes into this video now, so I should actually be talking about Crisis. Should be actually watching the Crisis trailer itself. But that's just something I just want to get out of the way, to give you an idea of where I'm at right now, coming from rather. Big DC fan. I gush over DC all the time, especially when I hear big news. And seeing how we have a Crisis trailer part 2, let's go watch this bad boy and see how it is. I'm just going to turn up the volume. Especially with how the film left off, too.
The mighty psycho pirate, you've a role to play in the crisis to come.
Dr. Fate. Psycho Pirate.
I've got contact. Code red.
Kara, your friends are in mortal peril, but there is something we can do.
Reported an unusual development from Earth 2. Let there be light. And there was light.
We've got about 1 million shadow demons. These attacks continue to come in all universes to each of their Earths.
What we thought was an antimatter tsunami turned out to be an ongoing storm without any predictable pattern.
Wave home.
Another universe lost.
You think you just happened to be in the neighborhood when your planet blew up?
What are you saying?
What have you done?
I'm just broadcasting hate, fear, distrust.
Oh, look, Batman Beyond.
Misery out of my adolescence.
We need to fight the shadows, not each other.
There's the Charlton universe, Captain Adams.
Save the universe.
How?
Fight back.
I was wrong about it all. All living things, in all realities, are about to die.
Welcome to hell.
Come on, dude.
What have I done?
And Solar. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So some other things I forgot to mention too. In addition to this movie and the comic reproductions, we're also getting through Todd McFarlane Toys. We're getting some figures in the cash in on this anniversary. Sorry, I don't know why I blanked out. Through the DC Multiverse line, we're getting Superman Earth 2, Psycho Pirate, the Spectre, and a fourth one that I'm going to look up now. Being professional, everybody. DC Multiverse. Crisis. Figures. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. The Flash, Psycho Pirate, Spectre, and Superman of Earth 2. And the Build-A-Figure is the Monitor, which is cool, except for two things. One, the Monitor's head sculpt, sorry, it's not that good, in my opinion. It kind of looks like he has stroke. The other problems I have is, for one, Superman of Earth 2, he doesn't have the gray, to his temples that I really like. Like, I could barely tell if there's any in the image, and that's one of the reasons why I like Superman Earth 2 a lot, too, is because of that. It's a defining feature that helps him stick out. But I'm happy he's made into a figure, and I'm especially happy that the Spectre is made into a figure. Love the Spectre. Love him. But the price is the big problem, to the point where, like, everyone is complaining about that, to the point where, like, McFarlane Toys had to, their HR people, or PR people, rather, are like, yeah, we're aware of your problem, we're aware of the issue, but, blah, 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 some stuff, but in my opinion, those figures are way too expensive. Especially because of the fact, like, I'm only going to get really two. Though, then again, I like Kid Flash, so I might get Kid Flash, too. We'll see. But no, onto the trailer. So one thing I've noticed with the DC trailers is it's hard for me to do a reaction video because, like, there's, like, so much... The DC animated film, sorry. If I didn't say that. There's, like, so much coming at you at once, and I'm like, how do I describe all this, Basically, stuff's going down. Stuff's going down. We're seeing more shadow demons. Potential look at the Anti-Monitor. And we are seeing more from the comics. Like, the thing I'm really liking is Commodity is going to be in there. Which, makes me wonder, is that short that they did of Commodity, because I haven't seen it, is that now canon to this universe? Of the multiverse and everything? I'm also like, we got Solivar from Gorilla City, Flash. Really happy to see him in there, too. The thing I find interesting is that when Psycho Pirate was talking to Supergirl, he mentions that, do you wonder why your planet exploded? So that's making me, wonder, was the Monitor possibly, involved in the explosion of Krypton? Because that'd be different. However, this trailer didn't show too much, which is good. I'm still wondering, how Constantine plays into all this. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just he's going to be playing the pariah role, which makes sense, because in the movie, he was just, going to various universes and seeing their worlds die. The other big thing is, because this was in the other trailer, too, or clip or whatever, we saw Batman Beyond. And I do and they did confirm that the late, great Kevin Conroy, potentially his last animated role, is in Crisis Part 3. And that's making me wonder this. Is it going to be a cameo? Or are they going to incorporate the Bruce Timm, DCAU, the Timverse, or Bruce Timm universe, whatever you want to call it, into Crisis Part 3? We don't know. We won't know until, later this year, because, all three films are supposed to drop this year. I don't believe there is a release date for Crisis Part 2 yet, but we'll see. But I am liking what I'm seeing for sure, and I'm definitely looking forward to Part 2. This part, though, I've noticed it's definitely more, Batman-centric, which is fascinating. Because, I don't remember Batman played that big of a part in Crisis on Infinite Earths. I definitely know he played a part in Infinite Crisis, and I believe Final Crisis as well. But I don't remember of the original Crisis on Infinite Earths. Because like I said, I read that back in 2008, 2009. That's nearly... Oh yeah, that is 15 years now. Yeah, I'm old. Or, yeah, 15 years old. 15, 16 years ago. But yeah, Kevin Conroy, that could be his last role for all we know. And I'm really curious how Part 3 is going to be, too. But part 2 is definitely a big thing I'm really looking forward to, because we also got to see that tease of the Spectre at the end too of part 1. And I'm wondering, like, are we gonna go full on crazy bonkers finale like how it was in the comics, where like all the magical users, you know, like get added their energy up to the Spectre, and the Spectre had that great clash with the Anti-Monitor? I don't know. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna show a shot of that scene right now, like the cover and possibly the panel itself. But yeah, it was a great shot. Love it. But that's one thing I'm wondering. The other thing I'm wondering is this: are we going to get the classic design? Because just do a little compared contrast here with another Crisis related thing, the Arrowverse's Crisis on Infinite Earths. Love that too. The only things I can remember I didn't like is this: Brandon Routh Superman. Loved it. Loved it that he was brought back. Absolutely, positively loved it that he was brought back. He had the red trunks and everything, and I loved the fact that it was, you know, Kingdom Come Superman they're doing for him. But it was still, you know, the Superman Returns universe, and to an extent, the Christopher Reeves universe. Though, seeing how the Flash turned out and everything, my guess is Earth 96, which is what it was called in the Crisis on Infinite Earths Arrowverse edition. It's like a split timeline universe, if that makes sense. Like, it follows the same, like, timeline as that one universe of Christopher Reeves, but, you know, 3 and 4 didn't happen. Right. I really like the Crisis on Infinite Earths from the Arrowverse, but my two problems are Brendan Ralph was great in it. I don't like that he got sidelined in the end. Absolutely hated that he got sidelined in the end. And I'm really hoping that the news of, you know, like, a potential series, especially like recently, of his Superman being made on Max would be phenomenal, because that's what fans have been wanting for a while now. They wanted to see like Ralph's Superman return after Crisis on Infinite Earths as like unlimited series on Max. Now, if James Gunn will allow that, we don't know. I mean, we just recently learned that, you know, Superman Lois, which is an awesome series, by the way, that's getting canceled. I mean, was getting canceled because of Warner Brothers, but not necessarily James Gunn himself, I think. But James Gunn, at the very least, even though he's like the head of DC and has to say so on everything now, he at very least is giving us that final season, which is awesome. You know, better to have it ended on a good note than a bad note, like so many other great, awesome shows, or like just have no ending whatsoever. Looking at you, Teen Titans. I still want that series, that revival, so you know we get proper closure and everything. But yeah, no, didn't like he got sidelined, and I didn't like the Anti-Monitor's design in Crisis on Infinite Earths Arrowverse edition. Hated that design. It looked ugly. I want to see the classic design, you know, that big, awesome, great, you know, rawr, I'm a cosmic robot type dude who eats universes designs. I want to see that in the animated movie. And one other thing I forgot to mention with Crisis, that was supposed to be the plan for the DCEU, because, you know, Walter Hamada is like, you know, let's, you know, I hate Zack Snyder and what he did, so I'm just going to go and distance myself from everything and make it so the shared universe isn't a shared universe until the very end. And then we're going to do a Crisis movie, but we're still going to sideline Superman and everyone. We were supposed to get that. And it looks like we were also supposed to still get that, but like a different version. Because one of the alternate endings for The Flash, it hasn't been released, but you know, it's been, you know, reported numerous times now, that Ben Affleck was trapped in the multiverse and stuff. So we could have gotten like a different version of Crisis on Infinite Earths. But alas, that didn't happen. But now we're getting another version animated, and I'm excited for it. Looking forward to where it goes. And here's the thing I said too about when I heard the rumors of a Crisis on Infinite Earths movie, which might be now playing in part 3. One of the most brilliant things they could do is this: take a page from Arrowverse's Crisis on Infinite Earths. Arrowverse made it so like everything's canon. It's just all part of its own multiverse. You know, the Batman 66 universe, the Christopher Reeves universe. If you look into like an Easter egg as part of a newspaper, the Michael Keaton universe. But also Batman 66, Birds of Prey, Doom Patrol. I think Swamp Thing too, but I can't remember. All these various universes, and also the '90s Flash series, all part of this grand. Oh, and of course, how could I forget? Green Lantern. In fact, you know what? Let's see. Oop, there goes the Joker's head. Yeah, the Green Lantern movie. Even this was canon in the DC, the Arrowverse Crisis on Infinite Earths. Not only that, if you read the tie-in comic, which I believe was written by Marv Wolfman as well, he incorporated the Green Lantern stuff better than Arrowverse because, basically, just here's some footage from the movie, and boom, there you go. No. In the comic book, because obviously with comic books, you don't have to worry about the budget and everything. They did so much better. They had Kilowog and Tomore. Hal was not available, and I think Sinestro was in it too, but it was before he turned Sinestro Corp on us. I should watch this movie too because I haven't watched it in about 13 years. Wow, I'm old. Also, I know this is controversial to say, but I actually like the movie. But it's also been 11 years, no, not 11, 13 years since I've seen this, and I have no idea how it'll hold up. I mean, I made the stupid mistake one day saying, I liked the Last Airbender movie when I watched it back in 2010 on DVD. And then the following year, I saw clips of it, I'm like, wow, this movie's terrible. But I'm getting off topic. And the other things, too, the Arrowverse, Crisis on Infinite Earths did. We had, the Linda Carter. Well, I don't know why I'm blanking on it. The Linda Carter Wonder Woman was in there too, but it was in the comic, as well as the Max Fleischer Superman series on there, which was awesome. That was something I did not expect to happen. But what I would like to happen is this with this animated Crisis on Infinite Earths movie, because this is what I was speculating, which might happen now in Part 3. I was speculating what they could do this. Be the most brilliant thing since Arrowverse, what they did. What they could do, and this might be a pain in the ass to do with the various art styles, and I don't know how animation works really. My girlfriend does more so than me. But we could have it so the various, anime DC characters and franchises can interact with one another. Which we're kind of getting now with Bruce Timm DC universe. But it could also be Teen Titans. Potentially Teen Titans Go, but I don't know. Obviously, we're going to have, the DC animated movie universe. But there's other stuff you could do, too. I mean, the big thing, just seeing the DCAU interact with this, the Tomorrowverse would be a big, great thing. But other things you could do. You get the various, DC animated movies that, never connected really, outside of one or two sequels. And we could have that, we could have Superman Unbound, we could have Justice League from Justice League Doom, or Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. That could be a really cool way to tie in everything. In fact, you know what I would really like to see? Because we were supposed to get a sequel that never happened, and a season 2 to it, the show that, tied into it. I would really like to see this universe be brought back. The Justice League Gods and Monsters universe. One of the most fascinating, coolest ideas they did with the multiverse. I would love to see this universe be brought back. Because this, my friends, is a very, very underrated series. Movie and, series too. Very underrated. We had that one prequel animated movie, limited series. There's only 3 episodes. We had that comic book tie-in. This was going to go far, and it had so many cool, interesting ideas. But they just never followed up on it, which is a real shame, because this is one of the rarities of a truly original thing, and I would love to see this. I mean, it's so cool and fascinating. Plus, I love their depiction of this new Superman, the Zod Superman. He's great. But yeah, you could do crazy stuff like that. If you can, one, afford it, with the animation and everything, and 2, the voice actors, provided that everyone's still with us, But the other thing I want to say is this. one thing I liked about Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1, Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1, the cameos. We got to see Swamp Thing, some other characters, but one of the ones I wasn't really expecting was Uncle Sam. For those who don't know, DC has their own version of Uncle Sam. Character that appeared in the Golden Age, was part of a company that wasn't necessarily part of DC, but then DC would later acquire them. I believe so. If I remember right, the legendary Will Eisner created him too, for Quality Comics, I believe, but I can be wrong. And I always liked the concept of Uncle Sam. I've been meaning to read the various comics he's appeared in, both the classic Golden Age, Bronze Age, Silver Age, whatever he appeared in, as well as the modern revivals we got in the 2000s. Plus that one graphic novel too, which I think Alan Moore wrote. I don't think he actually wrote it. I think he did a quote in the book saying it's great. But Alex Ross did the art, and that was awesome. But the thing that I don't want to see for Crisis Part 3 and 2, if we're bringing in all these other universes, is the problem we had with Part 1. We had those cameos, but they just stand around and do nothing. And I literally mean did nothing. Some might moved around and everything, but they literally just stood there just like this. And they might not even blinked. But that's what I want to see with Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. Go crazy. Add all the alternate animated universes. Go crazy. Not just the animated universes we talked previously just now, and the Teen Titans. Go even crazier. Go more obscure. Friggin', get the Filmation universe, DC stuff, Have it all the stilted animation stuff. That'd be a great, nod and stuff, The Max Fleischer Superman cartoon. Bring in that, You could do... Oh, Batman Brave and the Bold would be cool too, along with the Batman. Yeah, bring in the I think it was Filmation, the Filmation Batman series that interacted with Scooby-Doo and their friends. That weird crazy crossover. Go crazy with Part 3. And the other big thing I'm wondering is this: once this is all done, and everything, where do we go on from here? With Part 2 and Part 3. Because to my knowledge, there isn't any other DC animated movies coming out other than, this Justice League trilogy. Which, by the way, I'm so happy they're doing that as a trilogy. Because, for one, there's no way in hell you could do that as a single film. There's too much. And I hate it when they do that. There's a film they did that before. I can't remember what it was. Oh, wait, no, there is also another DC animated film. How could I forget? We got Watchmen coming out, which should be a 2 or 3-parter, if you ask me. Just saying. Zack Snyder did an awesome job doing an adaptation of that movie, too, by the way. And I actually like the change to the ending of that film, too. I actually thought it made more sense as opposed to the original comic book one. But the Watchmen anime movie, do it as a 3-parter. 2-parter or 3-parter, preferably 3-parter. But the question is this, with how Part 3 is going to end and everything, and how Part 3 is going to play out too, because I want to see a return of the DC animated movie universe. Have those versions of those characters interact with the Tomorrowverse and everything. But my question is this: where do we go on from here? Because James Gunn is now, the head honcho of DC, He's, taking the reins of everything, making everything, a coherent universe. But we're also still getting, Elseworld stuff. We got The Batman, Teen Titans Go, and I imagine other stuff down the line. It'd be really cool, if you got Matthew Vaughn to do that Red Son Superman movie with Henry Cavill. Just saying, is that, James Gunn, just saying. Yeah. Because he has talked about doing DC animated movie universes. DC animated movies in recent years, since he's been the head of DC on film. But my question is this: will it tie into? Will it be this? Will it tie into his universe? Will it be its own universe, or will it be like in the past with Crisis on Justice League, Crisis on Two Earths, Justice League Doom, Batman, Superman, Public Enemies, and Apocalypse, Superman Unbound, and Superman versus the League. Are we just gonna go back to how things used to be, where it's just like they're all in separate things? That's what I would like to know too, because I am a fan of whenever they've been doing these films since 2007, if I remember right. Granted, there was Superman Brainiac Attacks, but that was just like its own thing. I want to see where we're going on from here, because I'm a big fan of whenever DC do these straight to DVD movies, or Blu-ray, on digital, whatever you want to call them, because they're very good at this for the most part. I mean, my problems aside with the Tomorrowverse, I'm still excited whenever they announce a new movie and everything, and I want to see those go away, because we've been doing them for like about 20 years actually. Now that I think about it, close to 20. Let's see, they started in 2007. For those who don't know, I'm very good at years. We started in 2007 with Justice League Doomsday, Superman Doomsday, and that came out in 2007, and it's 2014, so 17 years. Wow, dang, 17. And we've been pretty much getting like an animated film for each year, but I don't want to see those go at all. In fact, what I'd really like to see them do. I got this for my girlfriend, by the way, as a gift. Oh, hey, it's actually one of the original versions I got. This ain't my copy, it's her copy, but it's like one of the original reprints I got years and years ago. Now, this film adaptation, I don't know if you do it as a single film, I'm not sure, but all I can say is this. If you do it, and I know there's been talk about people wanting to do it as a CGI film. In fact, you could probably do it as a theatrical film, and it probably would do well. Kingdom Come. Would love to see Kingdom Come be done. Just like, have the CGI, like, really realize, Alex Ross's beautiful art. And not only his art, but just like look at the coloring here, man. Like, look at the coloring with, like, Green Lanterns, Space Shuttle Station, sorry. And the shot here, this beautiful, like, outdoor shot with Hawkman. And just like, look at here too. Like, look at all the colors and everything here. That's something I would like to see done properly in CGI for. But yeah, I've been rambling a long time with this video, right? But as you guys can tell, I love DC Comics, and I'm happy to see these animated movies coming out, because no one else is really doing them. Marvel tried when they had like Lionsgate, but like that died off after a while. In fact, I believe the final film they did with that contract was the Thor movie, Thor Son of Asgard, I think. Yeah, they just pretty much stopped doing them. I mean, granted, there was those 2 CGI films that came out, the one Hulk film with Iron Man, and Iron Man teaming up with Captain America. But like after that, they just stopped, which is also kind of a shame too, because I'm just a fan of these straight to DVD superhero films. You could do a lot with them, especially nowadays. I mean, look how many rated R movies we've got now. We got like The Killing Joke, Justice League Dark, Constantine animated movies, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. I think one of the DC animated, the Tomorrowverse movies was rated R. I think the Justice League World War One was. I don't know. Sorry. There's a lot of stuff you can do with these films that you can't necessarily do with theatrical. Due to budgetary constraints, or like some of the subject material is just like deemed too, not out there, just too controversial. Because, like, I think they talked about wanting to do, like, an identity crisis movie, which I would love to see. But that in itself would cause a lot of problems nowadays. Could they do it? Possibly. But if anything, I feel like they would do a warning for that, because of the subject material. But I don't want to see these movies go away anywhere. I want to see some be made. Whether it be a shared universe or not, I don't know. Personally, I would love to see the DC animated movie universe come back, I really love those films. It took me a while to, grow on me, but I really loved them. And Justice League Dark Apocalypse Wars. I love that movie so much, you know. Oh, also, I should say this too. I think was one of my favorite movies of these two universes. Tomorrowverse, Superman, Man of Tomorrow, obviously. Crisis on Infinite Earths, I would say, would be this in second place. The rest, you know, eh. Uh, I'm not even really gonna do a rankings, especially with the DC anime universe. But I would say either my favorite movie for that universe would either be um, the Death of Superman slash Reign of the Superman, or the Death and Return of Superman, if you just want to put it all in one film, and Justice League Dark Apocalypse Wars. I did not expect to love Apocalypse Wars that much, but that movie pushed boundaries, and I love that it did that. Some call it edgy, you know, edgelord stuff. I've seen worse, but I liked it. I like it how it's a post-apocalyptic movie, and it basically where the bad guys won, and then it's the aftermath of that. I would like to see that universe return. Um, yeah, I've been rambling. This has been going on for 41 minutes now, but you tell me though, what did you think of this trailer? What is your favorite Tomorrowverse movie? What is your favorite, you know, DC anime movie universe? Or a favorite DC animated movie in general? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like this like this video, hit subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you get more notifications when I do videos like this. And don't forget to check out my Facebook page, Sutargos, the Kaiju from Krypton, in which I talk about superheroes, giant monsters, pulp heroes, tokusatsu, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And also, hopefully this time around it happens. But yes, me and my friend Tyler, we're going to go on this podcast, the Krypton Report, and we're going to talk about something, hopefully coming tomorrow, actually, Thursday. I'm hoping we'll be talking about the recent announcement of the DC Marvel Omnibus that's happening, but we'll see. But until next time, everybody, see you later, and bye, everybody! Bye-bye!